prince of Dyfed-Part, Prince of Dyfed, was lord of the 7 cantrevs of Dyfed, and once upon a time Powel was at Narberth, his chief palace, where a feast had been prepared for him, and with him was a great host of men. And after the first meal, Powel arose to walk, and he went to the top of a mound that was above the palace, and was called Gorse of Narberth. Lord, said one of the court, it is peculiar to the mound that whosoever sits upon it cannot go thence without either receiving wounds or blows, or else seeing a wonder. I fear not to receive wounds and blows in the midst of such a host as this, but as to the wonder, gladly would I see it. I will go, therefore, and sit upon the mound. And upon the mound he sat, and while he sat there, they saw a lady, on a pure white horse of large size, with a garment of shining gold around her, coming along the highway that led from the mound. And the horse seemed to move at a slow and even pace, and to be coming up towards the mound. My men, said Powel, is there any among you who knows yonder lady? There is not, Lord, said they. Go one of you and meet her, that we may know who she is. And one of them arose, and as he came upon the road to meet her she passed by, and he followed as fast as he could, being on foot, and the greater was their speed, the farther was she from him. And when he saw that it profited him nothing to follow her, he returned to Powel, and said unto him, Lord, it is idle for anyone in the world to follow her on foot. Verily, said Powel, go unto the palace, and take the fleetest horse that thou seest, and go after her. And he took a horse and went forward, and he came to an open level plain, and put spurs to his horse, and the more he urged his horse, the farther was she from him, yet she held the same pace as at first. And his horse began to fail, and when his horse's feet failed him, he returned to the place where Powel was. Lord, said he, it will avail nothing for anyone to follow yonder lady. I know of no horse in these realms swifter than this, and it availed me not to pursue her. Of a truth, said Powel, there must be some illusion here. Let us go towards the palace. So to the palace they went, and they spent that day. And the next day they arose, and that also they spent until it was time to go to meat. And after the first meal, verily, said Powel, we will go, the same party as yesterday, to the top of the mound. Do thou, said he to one of those young men, take the swiftest horse that thou knowest in the field. And thus said the young man. They went towards the mound, taking the horse with them, and as they were sitting down they beheld the lady on the same horse, and in the same apparel, coming along the same road. Behold, said Powel, here is the lady of yesterday. Make ready, youth, to learn who she is. My lord, said he, that will I gladly do. And thereupon the lady came opposite to them. So the youth mounted his horse, and before he had settled himself in his saddle, she passed by, and there was a clear space between them, but her speed was no greater than it had been the day before. Then he put his horse into an amble, and thought, that, notwithstanding the gentle pace at which his horse went, he should soon overtake her. But this availed him not, so he gave his horse the reins, and still he came no nearer to her than when he went at a foot's pace. The more he urged his horse, the farther was she from him, yet she rode not faster than before. When he saw that it availed not to follow her, he returned to the place where Powel was. Lord, said he, the horse can no more than thou hast seen. I see indeed that it avails not that any one should follow her. And by heaven, said he, she must needs have an errand to someone in this plain, if her haste would allow her to declare it. Let us go back to the palace. And to the palace they went, and they spent that night in songs and feasting, as it pleased them. The next day they amused themselves until it was time to go to meat. And when meat was ended, Powel said, where are the hosts that went yesterday and the day before to the top of the mound? Behold, Lord, we are here, said they. Let us go, said he, to the mound to sit there. And do thou, said he to the page who tended his horse, saddle my horse well, and hasten with him to the road. And